Man, it's just tough to say.
Barry and me on video? I don't know. What's going on, bro? We're just saying hey before we jump into the spew here, but this is a little something different, a little something special, differentiating ourselves by being the same as everyone else.
I think the best way to talk about this episode is if you went to the supermercado,
Yes,
if you spoke Spanish, and you found something that you don't normally buy. You got a sauce, you got a spicy mayo, you might have got a new
a street corn. Yep, at home
Yeah.
make it your own street corn.
Or you were going into the soda aisle or this ice cream aisle. You just picked out a new flavor. That's all I got to say. This was this app. And let's dive into a little, for a quick little minute. We're looking good, Graham. We both are webcammed up. This is our first vid. I still don't know whether to look at the webcam or the screen or you. I don't know where to put my eyes, but yeah, we're out in the cut.
Yeah, I don't know whether to look at myself because my eyes are drawn to the orange Van Gory hoodie, but I don't know. It's tough for me not to. I want to.
It's tough to say.
I don't know. I just don't want to see myself. I just want to see you. I just want to have a conversation with you. Anyway, yeah.
As does everybody in the city, baby.
So wrong. We're going to be doing this from now on. We're going to be incorporating a video element. We used to do this on Zoom. We used to be in the Fit Aid Celsius studio. Now we're remote. We're in different places. At one point, you'll probably be in a southern place. TBD. And I'll be in the Northeast where I'm at right now. No
Boston.
snow. 60
Boston.
degrees. I'm in Saudi Arabia. And we're about to drop some stuff right now. I'm never going to be the like and subscribe guy. But if you were to do that, I would not be upset.
So yeah, and we're excited. And we're doing this thing with Ryan, right, Ram?
Yep, coming back, first person to do a round big victory lap back to the table.
And don't think we ran out of people to talk to. Cap, you have audience. What we wanted to do was, it's obviously March Madness. We're pretty big sports guys. Graham and I are
Big sports guys.
So we said, you know what? Let's pool.
But we're
our
not
resources.
we're not a sports podcast, but we're sports guys.
So we just said, you know what? Let's put our heads together and bring someone on that really knows what he's talking about this time of year for a major sports event. So Ryan's one of my best friends. Hope you guys have listened to him in the first guest episode, but he comes on again and always just is able to flip that media switch. Everybody, I hope you enjoy. We love you. Happy March Madness. Brackets coming soon. Go Gators.
Welcome to the table, a man who's already been here, the first recurring guest. There's literally no other way for me to describe it. I'm not ripping other pods off. You are just a man who has now recurred on this podcast. It's Ryan McMahon, a former but really all-time legend of the game. Ryan, how are we doing, brother?
Doing great. Doing better. Got a drink in my hand with two great friends on a beautiful night.
Now, Barry, why are we here today, bro? I'll tell you why. We're talking a little bit of basketball. Are we a sports podcast? No. But are we fans of the game? I'm married to it.
This was a chance to get someone who's been in NCAA tournaments, played at the highest level, obviously had a crazy ending last year. But just to pick our brain, because as you know, March is the month of future and March is the month of madness. So we're here to talk ball and we're here to catch up with our homie, Ryan McMahon. So Graham, let's rip it, bro.
This is the least amount of college basketball that I have watched in my entire life, this year specifically. I've always been more of an NBA guy, but this is the weirdest season in recorded history. There are teams that are ravaged by COVID that are being protocoled, if that's even how we're going to put it. They're being protocoled left and right. You've got the likes of a Kentucky and a Duke who are at the very bottom of the barrel. You've got some rising stars. What is this like? What is the perception of the game? Like, what are you hearing? I know you're somewhat around that Louisville program still.
Those teams with the one and done format in terms of recruiting and kind of feeder system that they've developed over at those schools, it's been a rough year. Not only during the season, but in the off season and preseason. Whenever somebody got COVID or came in contact with COVID, whole program shut down. 2 weeks, automatic, like that. Adjusting to the speed, the athleticism, the length, the strength, the type of training you're doing, it's a completely different animal than high school. And those months in the off season and the preseason for the younger freshmen are arguably the most important months of like their careers.
Is there a conversation amongst the team about who sucks the most at free throws, knowing that at the end of games, especially in college, there's going to be upwards of probably 20 free throws in the last 2 minutes, especially with close deficits in mind?
They, as a coaching staff, definitely knew who the bad free throw shooters were, and we might have mentioned it in scouting. And you can just kind of tell based on form and stuff like that. But comes the crunch time and we need to foul somebody, they're going to tell us in a timeout. They're going to pull us over at a dead ball and say, listen, if we need to foul, this is who we're going after. If there's a timeout, we're going to maybe try to set up our defense to where we're double teaming the best free throw shooter and allowing the terrible free throw shooter to go get the ball, like almost daring them to.
How does practice change from preseason, during season, conference championship to March Madness? Walk us through kind of like the changes.
October is really where your team finds their identity. Like that's the preseason. That's when you're practicing pretty much every day. It's the first time your team has a chance to go from 8-hour weeks to 20-hour weeks. Then your games start, but in the beginning of the season in November, it's usually non-conference games. Practices start to get a little easier, but you're still getting after it, especially like if you have 4 days in between a game, you might have 1 day off, and then that second and third day before that final day, that second and third day, you're getting after it in practice. And then the fourth day, it's going over the other team's scout, going over all their plays. So by March, it's like you're not forming any sort of different identity. The team is the team. You can put in new things, but you hope that you're hitting your stride and your team is getting hot by then.
Uno card sidebar conversation about the Big Ten specifically, about Michigan specifically. Juwan Howard, love the man. I'm a huge Juwan Howard fan. What's it like having a player's coach?
It's unbelievable. At least for me and my personality.
Because Coach Mack is a player coach.
Yeah, 100%. He fit me as a player much better than Coach Pitino did. I don't need, a
couldn't
kick
drink
in the
like
butt.
him though.
I don't know. Or come.
Yeah, I don't need a kick in the butt to work hard. Like I'm gonna give it my all at all times, and I love having a relationship with a coach, and I love like hearing when I'm doing things good, hearing and like them keeping it real with me when I'm not. And that transparency with a player, you find that a lot in a player's coach, and it just vibes better with me. I never knew if Coach Pitino was actually mad at me or it was just like my day to get yelled at. Yeah, I caught that. You guys.
Next conference.
I got it. So Ryan, when the brackets come out, historically, do you make them? Are you one to sit down and really think it through to try? Are you and your teammates or your former teammates doing them together? What's the vibe come that Monday morning?
Demi conflict of interest.
I haven't been able to make a bracket the last 5 years.
Really?
So, yeah, like we're like legally not allowed to make brackets.
Have you shaved points in an ACC basketball game?
Hell no. Absolutely not. People go to jail for that, dude. I mean, I would have friends text me before the game and be like, "Yo, you guys are plus 15. How do you feel about that?" And I just wouldn't be able to say anything. Because if I said anything, like there's guys that have gone to jail for saying like, "Yeah, I feel good."
Ryan, my last question is going to be: look, is Louisville making the tournament? Where will they be seeded? What's going on?
Yeah, I think they're definitely in. If they get a first round exit tomorrow against Duke, which they'd have to beat them for the third time in a year, which is tough to do, especially against them. They're playing well. They're one of those blue bloods that are kind of coming alive at the end of the year. If they happen to have a first round exit, I think they're going to still get in as a 9 or a 10 seed.
Okay.
If they win that game, maybe even put up a fight against Florida State or somehow win Florida State, I think the max they can improve their seed is up to probably like a 6 seed. If they win the whole ACC tournament, I could see them going up to a 6 seed. Thanks
for coming on, bro. We love you. You are our recurring guest, and it's going to be a great tourney. Audience, I hope you enjoyed another edition of Ryan McMahon. Graham, I'll let you close it out, buddy.
So we appreciate you being here for us. Thanks for coming to the table. March Madness Selection Sunday, right on the horizon. It's going to be weird, but it'll be fun. Mixed feelings about Jalen Johnson. That's all I have to talk about. All right, boys and girls, we're out of here.